Today I wanted to talk about the spiritual meaning and the practical application of the use of social media in our daily lives. Now, there are people out there that like to be critical of the instrument in the first place, but I disagree with that attitude because to me it's a definition of a mistake that can be summed up with don't hate the player, change the game. When we incarnate during a given time in human history, we use the conveniences around us, and our physical body is one of them, but also other things as vehicles for energetic expression, really. So it kind of would be like incarnating, 200 years ago and hating the horse and buggy or whatever else people used at the time to get around. And yes, there's gonna be some stuff about the time you're incarnated in that you hate, and there's gonna be some that you love. That's part of life. It's just unavoidable. So what can you do, really? What you can do is try to use what you have responsibly, according to your own taste, mind you, because everyone has their own preferences, and try not to make certain mistakes. And as someone who was born in the early 90s, I'm from the generation that remembers the time when social media emerged. Because if you're younger, 10 or more years younger, you kind of grew up in a time when you already matured into a world where the socials were the norm. So it would be less of a shock for you. But I still grew up in a childhood home where we had like this old rotary phone. So I'm old enough to witness the whole transition, and so are many other users. And here I want to tell you my personal regrets from what I've seen so far. And that is spoken as somebody who was raised with a strong background of photography. My grandfather was an amateur, a very passionate photographer who he mostly liked to do nature, but also people, and he would photograph people at local events. And even when he was retired and he didn't have to work anymore, he would basically photograph and sell those photographs, not because he wanted to make money, but because he was passionate about the subject. And since I was a little girl, I was used to being on camera because he would always photograph all family members. And nowadays we kind of just film ourselves unconsciously, or use our image and just do things very mindlessly. But even if you are not someone who is into photography or doesn't have any upbringing or family connections relative to the subject, remember that taking a picture or video is still a memory. It's a memory that you have stored somewhere, hopefully. It's a memory, it's a fragment of something, just like writing a book or a memoir. It's a piece of your past. The same way that our ancestors used to have, again, letters and old-style photographs. This is what we are going to leave behind for future generations, and maybe our own kids if you have them. And it's the legacy that will be there for the people who come after us to see. And right now, think of everything that you've ever filmed and done. Now try to fast forward in your mind 100 years and think, what will people see of me after I'm gone from what I've created? And you might be surprised at what you left behind, especially if your whole life is memes, right? There's nothing wrong with having a little laugh and having a sense of humor, mind you, but I think you'll be a little sad if you were gone one day and all that you left behind was a joke, right? That would be regrettable. But see, this is something that happened, that we are so used to just constant exposure, self-exposure, and sharing, that we don't really remember or think what we leave behind. I actually have a catalog of all the pictures available to me through different technologies that I've had physically at the time of my computer, and I regularly clean it, review it, repost some stuff that's beautiful, and I don't want it to be lost. And it really is our modern day version of a physical photo album, which is what we used to have, right? When we still developed physical photographs. Well, you can still do that right now if you want to, but that used to be the only way you could have photograph historically. And now we have digital archives on our computers. This is what a photo album has become. This is what story memories has become. And I think many people are not conscious of this when they're creating something. They don't think of that anymore. And I think this is something that people might look back on and regret. Now, for me, this happened when I first got like a smartphone that was good enough for social media. That was like over 10 years ago. Before that, I had phones that could text and play music, but they were not really, they were not really advanced enough to handle a lot of apps or whatnot. And this is when I played with what was trendy at the time, which was Snapchat. And looking back at those photos, like, I have so many regrets. Okay, yes, I was trying it out for the first time. I was younger. But sometimes, let's say that I took a day trip with my friend and I would like to have better pictures than something like super blurry with some over exaggerated filter on it. And this is the other thing that and granted, like, we have all those kinds of filters available nowadays. Filters to do like light tuning, light makeup, whatever. Sure, sometimes we just have a bad day, and instead of doing all the physical work, we let our phones cover it up for us, and that saves time. But sometimes people have like so many filters on that they're just unrecognizable. And we're not talking about like artistic effects, which I use myself in my Reiki videos, because the point of this is to create a mood. And I'm not even pretending that it's not there, because it's like creating a work of art using digital means. So that's a different thing. But people just change their own features in a way that's unrecognizable. And this is what led to such a rise in plastic surgery, because we now think that this is the norm. This is what a human face or body looks like. It's not. It's a different thing to use a filter as a conscious creative effort to create some other dimensional perspectives which we physically can't achieve, which is what I do. And it's a different thing to use it because, well, you think you can't exist without it. And that brings me back to another thing that I personally hate, which is mirroring. Now, this is useful as it is also in a physical mirror in your home, because I don't know if you ever tried to apply makeup when your camera is actually flipped the way your face looks like. It's something about the hand and the reflection and the coordination. It's hard to like aim well. So a flipped image is actually good for like doing your own makeup or for looking up certain things, like looking in your pores or whatever. But this is a cosmetic thing that you do like in your own bathroom. If you're really looking to see what you actually look like, you should flip. And this is what I try to do. It's something that I've been working on, especially in the last couple of years. If possible, there's an inverted effect on TikTok. And also when you take a selfie physically on your phone, you can easily flip it, or even just set it to automatically flip your face, is to avoid saving pictures that are going to just flip the way you really look like, because then there are a lot of people that have like a lot of self-hate going on when they saw their real selves, the way people look at them from the outside, like, oh wow, is that me? And they just can't stand looking at themselves. Like, I don't know if you can see what I'm getting at, the element of lack of realism, a complete disconnect from our real selves that we have achieved because of social media, and not just social media, but self-perception through technology. It should be something that helps us in self-awareness, not something that takes us further away by encouraging us to create an illusion of ourselves. And so by trying to do things in a way that's more accurate, trying even to post things that are more accurate, and trying to keep score and store things in a way that's the most accurate possible, given the technology you can physically afford, you are creating something real, a solid memory bank for yourself and for the future, instead of creating instead of creating a perpetual illusion that you are then going to feed, that behind all of it is just empty at the end of the day.